Hello and welcome to another exclusive review with me, Alex Belfield, here at celebrityradio.biz. We're the number one reviewer of theatre and lifestyle in the UK and Las Vegas, and this week we're on board Silversea on an exclusive cruise from Montreal to New York, and we're going to take you through step by step from embarking the ship to the stops in between to everything on board. You can't go wrong. So let's begin then. The onboard process is extraordinary. We literally arrived at the port at 2:01, and we were on the ship by 2:10. It was so quick, it was incredible. The organisation is remarkable, 5 stars to Silversea for that. You're then taken to your room. Ours happened to be on the same floor that we embarked, so that was perfect. The rooms are quite lovely and frankly huge by cruise ship standards. They're 5-star. You get your own butler. This is room 533, which is just by the reception on the 5th floor. It's actually a disabled accessible room. It is enormous, as you can see. My room was 535. This is slightly less wide, but it's equally as luxurious and has everything that 33 has. There's a huge walk-in wardrobe, which is fantastic. Loads of coat hangers too. They've thought of everything. The bathrooms are exquisite. A bath and a shower is so rare on a cruise ship. Congratulations to Silversea for this. Fabulous. The bathrooms are exceptional, perfectly clean as you would expect, and fabulous conditioners and shampoos too. We then move into the bedroom. One thing that's fantastic is that they've put USB leads into the rooms, which is fantastic. Of course, 2019, people need to charge their phones and all of that stuff. The Wi-Fi on board is free, but unfortunately, it mostly doesn't work very quickly, although it's good enough for emails, so what more do you need? Don't bother with the high-speed internet. We upgraded for $200 and it didn't work and they had to refund. So back to the walkthrough of the room. Then, of course, you've got your king-size bed, which is fabulous. You've got your table where you can do your hair and all of that. There's an office table and a lounge area too. You're greeted with a beautiful bottle of champagne, which is fabulous, and daily you will receive the itinerary for the next day's cruising. As you can see, everything is quite lovely. You get your own guy who is responsible for cleaning the room, and also your own butler who will do everything you need. Silversea really have thought of everything, and congratulations on that. We were doing an autumn cruise through Canada, so obviously this wasn't about sunbathing, so we can't bring you that element of the cruise, which would take place on the 10th deck, and you would get to sunbathe there. However, all of the other parts, of course, are the same 24/7. There's 3 lounges where you can enjoy drinks, 3 communal spaces to sit and read and have a beverage. There is a French restaurant, which is $60 extra per person. Not quite sure why that is the case. I can't quite understand why they need to charge another $60. It just comes across as a bit classless and cheap. And there's, of course, in-room dining 24/7, which is hugely dangerous for a fatty like me who just loves to eat. They will bring you anything you need 24/7. The breakfast I always have in room because I just can't be bothered going to the restaurant, and why would you when you can get this level of service? The bars are quite lovely. I like the one on the 6th floor, which is just fabulous. The one on the 8th floor is slightly less glamorous, but still lovely too. There's a library on board, of course, where you can borrow all the books and sit and play games. And the most dangerous thing about Silversea is that alcohol is included and can be delivered to your room. You can have whatever you want and as much of it. Then you go to the restaurant. This is basically available to anybody whenever you want to go on any night at any time. You just turn up. It's a fabulous restaurant. The food, I would say, is 4-star, not 5-star, although the menu is 5-star, with things like foie gras on the menu. As you can see here, I added in the scallop. They weren't seared. As you can see, those scallops aren't quite right, but nevertheless, they tried their best. Fine dining for this number of people is difficult. As you can see, the steaks are quite lovely and were absolutely delicious. The lamb had too much fat for me, but maybe I'm being pedantic. Let's not rewrite history. The food is fabulous, but we are paying thousands and thousands of pounds to be on this cruise, so you have to remember everything I say is relative to the price. This is one of the most expensive cruise ships in the world to get on board, so therefore we're entitled to be as picky as we need to be. For me, the most disappointing thing about Silversea is the entertainment. It's just crap. I mean, the sound system in the theatre is from the 1970s. The material they're doing is outdated, and frankly, the performances are somewhat laughable in the shows. I just found it cliched, old-fashioned sort of musical theatre, grotesque performance. The sound's the worst thing. The backing tracks appear to be free from Google. There's no live band on stage, and the guys are doing their best to churn out what is very old-fashioned musical theatre performances. Trying to have opera singers sing West End songs or songs from the 60s just doesn't work. And then, of course, in the lounges, there's different type of entertainment. There's Liam, who plays the guitar, and Anna on piano. These are two very exceptional talents who are lost because they're not lit, they're in the wrong position, and they just fade into the background, as do the trio. So it's very disappointing. Whoever is the head of entertainment at Silversea should be fired immediately, and they should pay me thousands of pounds to sort it out. It's so simple what they need to do to make this right, but they can't see it. It's hugely disappointing for the talent who are paying the price of bad decisions of management in entertainment at Silversea. The worst thing about the cruise. One of the best meals we had on the ship was the lunchtime buffet in the Italian restaurant. It really is lovely and very nice, very fresh. Easy, of course, because you go in, sit where you want, and you get served immediately and pick what you want. The food is gorgeous. Bravo for the lunchtime buffet. There is no evening buffet on Silversea. It is far more formal than that, which is a shame, because actually I think there is a market for this level of buffet. We're talking 5-star buffet food in the evening. I think a lot of people would like that, something they should consider when they consider modernising, which they're ultimately going to have to do on this cruise line. There's a spa on board on deck 10, which is fabulous, but it's 5-star prices too, about $200 for a massage. But there is a gym. It's quite small, but it has everything you could possibly need. And the days I went, it was relatively empty, so that's good. We're going to get to Silversea generally in a moment and what I think of them, but the age group of the people who are on Silversea, they are 70 plus. Certainly, I was the youngest person on board by about 30 years. The entertainment in the evening is at 9:45, and it was mostly disappointing. I have to say the local entertainers were not great. The music is aimed at 50 to 70 plus. There's a trio who play in the lovely bar, but I walked into the anniversary waltz. That shows you the kind of clientele that they're looking to entertain. We left Montreal at 9 p.m. and it was lovely, although cold and rainy. Do try and make the most of when you leave and arrive in port, because it is some of the most magical moments. There's TV on board if you want it with everything, but unfortunately it mostly doesn't work. It either comes on and goes off or doesn't work at all, so TV is not reliable, and the same with the Wi-Fi really. Silversea, of course, does have disabled accessible rooms, and they have bars and showers with the seats that you can use. They really are fantastic. There's no steps anywhere within the room, although you cannot get out to the balcony because of a huge step. You won't get over that if you're in a wheelchair or if you can't lift your feet off the ground, so there's a slight flaw in their room there, but the room itself is fantastic. The bed isn't too high and the bars are all over the cabin. Outside you get 2 chairs and a table. We of course boarded the Silver Whisper. I should have said that at the beginning, but of course all Silversea are the same. So here's the question then, who are Silversea aiming at? Well, the answer to the question, I think, certainly on this cruise, is the over 60s, possibly over 70s. I felt an alien on board at just 39 years old, and there really aren't that many things to do. There are 3 bars where you can go and just drink all day, but who wants to do that? A lot of people read all day, and then they go off ship, of course, to see the various places that we went to on the cruise. I don't know. I went to Cunard last year, and I found it terribly pompous, but the ship was so beautiful and big you could walk around it. The one problem with Silversea is that these boats are not big enough to walk around, so you literally find yourself going up, down, left, right, up, down, left, right. I mean, it's like Pac-Man. You really aren't going on this for size. When you see the scale of the ship compared to others at Princess, this is a tiny ship. So here's my point. If you're an older person that's looking for a small ship with exquisite service and very good food, then Silversea is for you. If you're a young person who's looking for entertainment and other young people to associate with, you're probably going to struggle on Silversea. I did love the cruise. It is 5-star decadence, of course. There are a few things that are disappointing, like the TV and the Wi-Fi, but I'm a millennial, so maybe I'm obsessed with that. Also, with the free Wi-Fi, you can't log on to most websites. You can't even get onto YouTube or BBC to watch any programs there either. So anything that takes any amount of Wi-Fi coverage, you're going to be banned and blocked from. Just so you're aware, you can upgrade, but it's very little difference, to be perfectly honest with you. I suppose the selling point of Silversea is that you get alcohol in your room. If you're an alcoholic, this is fabulous. You can have as much as you want. If you're a fatty, you can have 24/7 dining. You can have 17 meals a day, do what you like. But if you're like me, I'm sort of prone to being tempted by this stuff. I'm sat here now with a vodka and Diet Coke and wish I wasn't having it. It's only 5:30. I shouldn't be doing that till 6:30, 7 o'clock. So there's temptation on every corner, but this is of course a decadent cruise where you can just indulge. You have to leave your conscience at the door. The food is very good. It hasn't blown my mind, I have to tell you. The food is not unbelievably brilliant. It's very nice. It's certainly not Michelin star. And in terms of the evening, you have to wear a shirt and trousers. You're not allowed to wear jeans. So again, there's a pomposity about Silversea that I think is outdated. Having said that, you can stay in your room if you don't want to, but why on earth would you want to do that when you could be out and about? I've never really understood the rules about what clothes you can and can't wear. It's interesting that women can just wear a top and a pair of trousers and they're formally dressed, whereas, of course, we have to wear shirt, tie and jacket, which is very outdated. There's 3 different nights. There's formal, casual, and, I don't know, some ridiculous night where you have to wear a tuxedo. We won't be doing that. I think they're pretty relaxed, but they won't allow you in unless you've got a jacket. So just be aware you have to wear a jacket for every meal in the evening. There is no buffet restaurant in the evening. There is a buffet at lunchtime in the Italian restaurant, which was delicious. So a couple of problems there. The other thing that I don't like about this cruise ship is there's really nothing to do if it's the winter, because, of course, your days are taken up sunbathing in the sunshine during the summer. But in the winter, it's such a small ship, you can't even walk round it. The events are few and far between, and there's not really anywhere you can hide or go. There are 3 bars, and that's basically it. So just be aware, this is not like a Caribbean cruise on Princess or P&O where you've got tons of stuff happening all day. It is a relaxing cruise designed for older people, in my view. So I have drawbacks with this cruise. Will I come again? Probably not. I have to say, Silversea haven't blown me away. It's incredibly expensive. Have we had value for money? Well, we've certainly had an incredible experience, but it's such a huge amount of money. I wonder whether I would do it again. Probably not. I don't think this is the cruise for me. Maybe it was a bad cruise going from Canada to New York, but there isn't anybody on this ship who's under about 60, 70 years old. And because it's such a small ship, you haven't got that number of people to sort of mingle with. By 9:30, everybody's gone. They're all in bed. So that was this cruise. I can only review the cruise that I was on. I am a professional theatre critic, and I always tell producers when they get upset that I slag something off that, oh, well, could you come back tomorrow? No, I can't. I can only review the show I see, and I can only review the cruise I've been on. So maybe other Silversea cruises have a younger clientele. This one certainly did not. So the best things about Silversea, all inclusive, you don't pay tips on anything. There's alcohol brought to your room as much as you want, anything you want. The food is, well, 24/7, whatever you need, whenever you need it. There's a butler who is incredibly helpful. The rooms are impeccable, slightly dated, but it's a cruise ship. What are you going to do? The entertainment is very average. There is a laundry room where you can get all your laundry done, so that's great. You can do that for free, or you can have your butler have everything laundered for you, and that is obviously quite expensive. The gym on board is great. The spa is very expensive, but I'm sure it's fabulous. I can't justify that kind of money for a massage when I could get one in town for a third of the price. And the size of the cabins are fabulous. There's no doubt that these are huge cabins. So there you go. That's my review of Silversea. If you have any comments, please post them below. You might disagree with me or agree with me. We'd love to hear from you. You can look at all of our reviews and interviews at www.celebrityradio.biz. And from the Silver Whisper here at Silversea, currently in Canada, we thank you for tuning in to celebrityradio.biz, where last year we had over 12 million minutes viewed on YouTube. You can check out all of our hundreds of interviews and reviews at www.celebrityradio.biz. Ta-da.